This is the third time we've tried to shoot this episode. Hi!
What's
up?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Welcome back to Objectively Wrong, presented by the Next Man Up. I know it's been a while, but in case you forgot, I'm still John, and that is still Obteen.
We went on summer break, and it was long.
We took a very long break.
Yeah.
We planned. We never released it. We planned to release a full 7-round draft reaction and draft grades and whatnot. No.
To be fair, this was probably the most unique draft night experience we've had.
I don't think I've ever seen Obteen drunker. I may have once or twice, but a friend of Obteen's tore his Achilles that evening for no discernible reason. It just happened. And, it was one of those. Did you draft Tyree? You drafted Tyree Wilson, right?
Oh, yeah. Not Will Levis. And if you were wondering why, I was very drunk. I was very scared.
He was hammered in celebration. He was hammered in fear and then hammered in celebration. It's a beautiful thing to go from sad to happy.
No, draft night was terrible for me. CJ Stroud,
Wow.
They moved up for CJ Stroud.
Oh.
Bryce Young went number 1, but shocker.
Is it just me, by the way? I'm sorry to cut you off, but is it just me or no, continue. I'll ask this after that.
Okay. And then Anthony Richardson also went to the Colts. All 3 quarterbacks that I wanted went before me.
On to the top.
And I was staring at Will Levis.
Yeah.
They kept on showing him. They kept on showing him when the Raiders came up.
Is it just me, or has there been next to no training camp coverage of Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, but Anthony Richardson has cameras all up in his face constantly?
I mean, how much of that is Jim Irsay, and we'll get to Jim Irsay.
Jim Irsay is a big part of this episode.
Yeah.
And it's
you could call him the whale of this episode.
Listen, I love that article so much. I love it so much that he doesn't want to pay Jonathan Taylor, but he wants to save a whale. Yeah. I love that shit. That is such crazy billionaire behavior. That is so, like, at some point, like the lottery right now, the Mega Millions is up to 1.55. If somebody wins, if somebody we know wins, we have to convince them just to save a whale before Irsay does it. Because that's going to be too damn... Like, it's so stupid. Why is Jim Irsay this dumb? But anyway, few things to get through today. Few things to conversate about. You'll notice... I don't know if they'll notice this. Who knows? I don't know how it works. Chris, maybe edit it in a way that tells them I'm wrong or whatever. But you might notice, visually, this might look different. Is that a thing that sounds reasonable, Obteen?
I don't know.
I'm so untech, it's insane. So I have no understanding of this. Okay. If I were the editor, there'd be no show. I would somehow have taped over this with All Quiet on the Western Front, and I've never seen the movie. Like, it's just not... Like, I have no idea how I would have accomplished that.
Oh, I have a timer running. We're discovering new things every day.
Hell yeah! So what's great is we might, this is our first time doing it from this perspective, but we might be fully leaving our previous video option, Zoom. We might be leaving Zoom. Not because Zoom did anything wrong, but because they kind of did. And we're now using Discord.
I mean, do we want to talk about our problems with Zoom? Because I have.
I mean, it's very. Oh no, I'll just make it very simple. The Zoom, when they were Zoom, let's say the good thing about Zoom real quick. Zoom helped a lot of people during a worldwide pandemic. Mm-hmm. They helped a lot of people, and they made a lot of good decisions. They made it very easy for people to transition, or at least easier. It wasn't easy for anybody. Easier to transition to a remote working environment. What was that eyebrow raise?
I was thinking, like, do I play the sound now?
No.
It just felt like it was coming.
We learned that Discord has a soundboard, and Ebteen is forbidden from using it for now.
But, like, the opportunity was right there.
I know. And the problem is Ebteen's computer, through some technical mumbo-jumbo, Ebteen's computer is the only one that can record this between the two of us. So Ebteen gets access to the back end, like, editing shit. And that's funny. Congratulations, Ebteen, you're a producer now. But you are now a producer. You're a what?
Executive producer.
Yeah, we're both EPs of this nonsense. I'm director, you're producer, Chris is editor, and you and I are both morons in charge of things.
By the way, speaking of production, so there's a whole strike going on right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to make sure we're clear on something. I support SAG-AFTRA strike entirely. We're not part of that.
Yeah.
No shit, right? So this is not some like affront to like those issues. We're not working in spite of the strike. We are not part of anything.
You think we get paid for this?
We're so irrelevant. It's not even funny. It's a little funny because if it wasn't, it'd be just sad. But anyway, so we're leaving Zoom. Mainly because Zoom in the last year we shot the podcast in 40-minute increments.
Oh yeah.
Because Zoom had a timer where one-to-one meetings would only last 40 minutes. So we would do 40 minutes of the show. We would have to kind of time our release to a certain point, cut that, and then come back in from where we were. Literally 30 seconds later. We also learned, for some reason, the clip would download faster if we got back on Zoom. Not sure why. Try and solve that one. But it was helpful at times. For longer episodes, it was a little annoying. It wasn't crippling, but it was kind of annoying.
What was crippling? What did we discover today?
So what we discovered today is that in order to go from a 40-minute meeting to another 40-minute meeting, you have to now wait 9 minutes. And that seems both dumb and patently unnecessary. And for Ebteen and I, who, let's just be honest, this is not our full-time jobs, those 9 minutes matter because it's just so annoying. Like, it's so annoying. We do this at night to do it because we want to do it. If we have to stop for 40 minutes and lose the flow of the conversation, lose track of the episode, lose all this stuff, it was already a pain in the ass to have to stop and start again. Now it was stop, get up, go take a shit, and then come back and still have 4 minutes to spare. I'm counting us as a 5-minute shit on average. It could be more, could be less. Depends on what you ate that day. Yeah, it's not a situation that was conducive to having a show that was flowing organically. So we're trying Discord. Mm-hmm. We found a way.
So far, by the way, we fixed it to work with John's computer, and it's been perfect.
Yeah,
I'm thrilled.
We've had Tina and I use Discord regularly just to talk personally, like just to be friends. And Tina and I, you know what's fun? So I'm wearing a Smosh shirt, which is funny because Smosh, if those don't know who Smosh is, it's a YouTube comedy group. It was the most popular YouTube channel for years. Not as popular anymore, but still major. And they were headed by two dudes, Ian and Anthony left, yada, yada, yada. And they came back. And their motto was like, friendship never always wins or some shit. I don't remember. But anyway, love Smosh. Anyway, they were best friends, then weren't. And Tina and I actually are friends. We're not just some idiots with microphones. We're idiots with microphones that also like to hang out. So we use Discord for that too. And it made sense to attempt it from this angle and see if it works. We both know how to use this a little bit better than Zoom. We think this probably gives us more weaponry than Zoom does. And if it's seamless, which we're going to learn, the biggest problem when we first started using Zoom was we weren't sure how the downloading was working. We're going to figure that out this time. And all of this could be for naught because you guys may never hear this episode if the download goes to shit.
Oh, I just realized I have to, because we're using Discord and OBS at the same time to record it.
Yeah.
I basically can't touch my computer.
You can't?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Because it's sharing the computer screen. Anyways, not important. Not important.
We'll figure it out. You guys are learning. Welcome to Tech Talk.
Do you want to?
I'm John, the least qualified person to do this.
Let's talk about Jim Irsay because that's the real meat of this.
I'm more qualified to talk about that.
Yeah. So,
Jim Irsay.
Tell me, John, who got tagged this offseason and we didn't talk about it?
Saquon.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
The key word here is running backs. Running backs were tagged. And
they don't get no money.
They don't deserve no money. Sorry, Austin Eckler.
We can see which one of us wants to save the whale and the other one doesn't.
I would love to save the whale. I am so down to go whale hunting with Jim Irsay. That sounds not only that, because he wants to do it with a plane. I want to go hunting for a whale.
Pick up a whale with a plane.
It was like a helicopter or a plane. I want to start catching sea creatures from the air. That is billionaire shit. That is so stupid. It's so funny. I love it.
You know what's also billionaire shit?
Not paying running backs.
No. Going to see the Titanic in a sub that doesn't pass safety regulations. It's been a long off season, guys.
Weird off season, guys. That one didn't have to do with football. That's like the new. I feel like that's, and obviously it's not good that 5 people passed away, but I think the memes are reaching the levels of like Harambe, like levels of memedom, where I think Harambe is still going to be the king of memes. But this was meme to hell for like 2 weeks. Golly. I was already afraid of the ocean. This changed nothing. Now I'm afraid of, Logitech video game controllers. I was already afraid of them too, actually. Anyway, the reality of the running back market is, simply put, there's no reason to pay them. And this is the argument I put out there when everybody was talking about Bijan Robinson going to Philly at 10. Thanks, Atlanta. The idea that you need a running back, one, that you need one running back, one great running back in today's NFL, to me just doesn't sound or feel or even in practice appear correct.
Let's talk about the famous evidence because it's famous at this point.
You're gonna pull those contract numbers?
No. I'm gonna give you a list of the leading rushers in the last 13 Super Bowls and their base salary, because this is the evidence everyone's talking about. It's like, this is the proof right here. The Rams in 2021, Cam Akers made him $1,171,000. Leonard Fournette, $2 million. Damian Williams for the Chiefs in 2019, $1 million. Pacheco with this previous Super Bowl made probably under $1 million.
7th round pick, yeah.
Patriots 2018, Sony Michel, $480,000. Eagles 2017, LeGarrette Blount, $900,000. Patriots, LeGarrette Blount again. By the way, LeGarrette Blount, hell of a job getting these rings. $760,000. You see all these are under $1 million. The Seahawks in 2013 are the lone exception. Percy Harvin was the leading rusher in that game. He got paid $2,500,000. But
what's the key word on Percy Harvin?
He's a wide receiver.
He's a wide fucking receiver.
Marshawn Lynch that year in 2013 was paid $7 million.
Yep.
And when the Seahawks should have just handed him the damn ball in 2014, he made $6,500,000.
Yep.
That's the lone exception. Everyone else, the running backs are getting paid around $2 million or less. And
on elite football teams.
Yeah. And
on winners.
Alvin Kamara is currently on a 5-year, $75 million contract, making $15 million per year. What have the Saints done since Alvin Kamara has been drafted?
Jack shit.
Christian McCaffrey is on a 4-year, $64 million contract, making $16 million a year.
The Panthers had done jack shit.
And the Niners.
And the Niners
suffered some quarterback injuries. Derrick Henry.
You know why, Abteen?
Why?
Because in order for a running back and a quarterback to be successful, what do you need? Say it with me, Jesus.
An offensive line.
An offensive line.
Austin Eckler.
I don't know why Jesus is involved in that.
Austin Eckler wants a new contract.
How many playoff games has he played in?
I don't know. He's currently the 7th highest paid running back, by the way. He's on a 4-year.
He's better than the 7th best running back in football.
He's on a 4-year, $24,500,000 contract for a $6 million per year, which is substantially less than Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey.
Well, Alvin's contract is stupid, but as we've on this show, we've already discussed how absolutely bonkers the New Orleans Saints are.
Now, this is the part that's really funny. Who are the last first-round running backs very recently? Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Detroit, what the hell? And Najee Harris.
Funny, we didn't do a show after the whole draft was done, but it's important to state, the Lions, you had a good draft, you just did it all out of order.
Oh, yeah.
Like, your first-round picks were 2s. Like, I don't know why you did that. Your draft class was fine. It's inoffensive, except for Jahmyr Gibbs at, 12.
Bijan Robinson is the 8th highest paid running back in the NFL right now.
Yep.
He's 4 years, almost $22 million. Jahmyr Gibbs is the 11th highest paid running back. 4 years, almost 18. And Najee is number 12 at 4 years, $13 million. It doesn't get nice. It doesn't get better there. Travis Etienne's on a 4-year, $13 million contract. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on a 4-year, $11 million contract. And who was the leading rusher in the last Super Bowl for the Chiefs?
Pacheco.
This is why John has been saying it for years. Don't pay running backs.
I've been right this whole time. Nobody wants to listen. I'm sorry. I know it's not popular to just blackball a position, but it makes too much freaking sense. There is no good reason. Saquon Barkley is back with the Giants on a 1-year deal worth, I think it's 11.5 or 12.
It's 11, I think, right?
Yeah, the tag was 10.
It was $1 million over the tag.
Yeah, he got $1 million or $1.5 million over the tag. Yippee! Got into a report, I guess. Mm-hmm. A year from now, Saquon's going to hit the market again.
And they're not going to tag him again.
And they're not going to tag him. And he's not going to get paid by the Giants. And he's not going to get paid what he's looking for. I don't know if he's not going to get paid by the Giants. He's not going to get paid what he's looking for. The Dallas Cowboys are licking their wounds after giving Zeke 90.
And they also tagged Pollard, didn't they?
Tony, yeah. No, the Cowboys are fools. Everything the Dallas Cowboys do it the opposite. Do it the opposite way. There's no running back. There is no running back in today's NFL that is single-handedly winning you jack shit. None. You need a passing game to establish a running game. You need an O-line to establish both. Yes, I understand quarterbacks need to be paid. I get that. It's a passing league. Teams are throwing the ball 60% to 64% of the time, yearly. Running is happening less. Go by committee. This is probably going to be the Bush League comment of the century. But you know who's kind of doing the running back room the right way? Philly. They just are. I understand I'm an Eagles fan. I get it. Yeah, everyone's going to cry bias. That's fine. I have crapped on my team plenty on this show.
Speaking of which, Miles Sanders is the 6th highest paid running back.
And that's a fucking joke. I'm sorry. The Eagles running back room, I saw this tweet. The Eagles running back room is paid in total less than Miles got.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. And the Eagles have two running backs that on their best days might be better than Miles in DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny. Yeah, Penny's probably going to get hurt because he's Rashad Penny. DeAndre Swift, you never know what DeAndre Swift is. You don't know what you're getting out of him. You could be getting a top 5 back or a replacement level practice squatter. You don't know. And then there's Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott. And the Niners drafted a guy named Trey Sermon in the 3rd round 2 years ago, and he's an Eagle. Don't waste high capital on these guys. Don't waste high capital. Don't waste contract money. You need to take that money and give it to the left tackle or the left guard or the center or the right guard or the right tackle. You need to build an O-line. The Niners lost every quarterback known to man in the NFC Championship game. Why? Because they couldn't block. Because Mike McGlinchey couldn't block. We ate his lunch. I didn't know if he was available. For all I know, he was injured.
No, Mike McGlinchey played.
No, he didn't. He might have stood on the field. Trent Williams was good. Kinda. But they folded. They totally folded. They weren't playing well before Brock got hurt. Only difference was that they would have been able to get a first down, let alone a touchdown.
Who were there? They brought in Sam Darnold, right?
Yes.
That's so funny.
Yeah. It's nice the Niners have a program in place for failing athletes. Nice.
Anyways, speaking of paying quarterbacks, because you brought that up, we should really quickly talk about the quarterback that did get paid very recently. Justin Herbert's on a 5-year, $262,500,000 contract. I'm a guaranteed. $133.7 million of it guaranteed. I'm honestly shocked the Chargers actually paid Herbert. I didn't think it was going to happen.
So that's my big story with it too. Is it's not a story that he got paid.
Yeah.
Right? Justin Herbert's a top 5 quarterback. He may have the best quote-unquote pure arm in the league. But it's shocking that Dean Spanos paid Justin Herbert. I'm stunned. Good for Chargers fans, all 3 of you. It's good for you guys. Good for SoFi to actually have a quarterback going into the building this year as a tenant.
But yeah, I just wanted to make sure we mentioned that before we forgot about it. Back to running backs.
I wasn't going to forget that. That man deserved his money. Now I want to talk about Jonathan Taylor in particular.
Okay.
If you guys have been listening to the show regularly, and MT, I think you might remember this, I did not like him coming out of college. Not at all. I didn't like him at all because he fumbled the ball like 1,000 times. Jonathan Taylor in year 1 was mid. Year 2, he was very good. And then last year, mid again. Why does he think he needs to be paid? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I understand every player thinks that they're God's gift to the gridiron. I understand that. Every player thinks that. But you're a running back. You're 1 for 3 in successful NFL campaigns. The Colts are getting worse. So why, if the Colts are getting worse, why do you think they're going to trade him? And they're going to trade him for nothing.
Not only are they going to trade him, he's not even with the team anymore.
He's not with the team. Can we also, gun to your head right now.
Okay.
Dalvin Cook or Jonathan Taylor to win you 1 football game? Who would you rather have on your roster?
Jonathan Taylor.
Really? I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would rather have Jonathan.
I wouldn't.
I think Dalvin Cook's kind of been slowing down for a while now.
Well, he has been, but he hasn't slowed down enough to what the Vikings did. Like, the Vikings cutting him doesn't make a ton of sense, considering they still kind of reloaded.
He was on a like fat contract.
No, I understand that.
And like Madison's been waiting for a while.
But this is the same problem. So Jerick McKinnon was waiting a while too. Tevin Coleman was waiting a while too. These are all guys that were sitting behind a better back. And then when they took the reins, guess what they did with it? Fuck all.
Yeah.
They got nothing. McKinnon and Coleman both went to San Fran. They both flamed out. McKinnon, it's not really McKinnon's fault. McKinnon just kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
It's not McKinnon's fault at all. But my point stands with running backs. They're kind of, and I'm sorry to say it this way, a little bit of dime a dozen. When the Eagles traded for Jay Ajayi to go and make a run for the Super Bowl, they already had under contract with Garrett Blount as the starting, quote-unquote, starting running back. So why add Jay Ajayi? Because a committee, keeping the legs fresh, is better than one bell cow who was almost 30 years old, the Garrett Blount. Jay Ajayi, why did he go so late in the draft? He was a second-round tier prospect. Why did he go so late out of Boise State? Because he had a knee problem. He had a degenerative knee problem. How many years did he play in Philadelphia?
2?
1. He played that Super Bowl campaign, and then the following season, he got hurt.
Okay,
and
so
that was
2.
it.
I was right, 2.
He played halves of 2 seasons, equating to 1. Jay Ajayi was good in Miami. Great even. He was a Pro Bowler. Came to Philly, played good enough ball to win a Super Bowl for you. He cost you a 4th-round pick to get him. So Miami netted a 4 for a 5, basically, in that deal. And now he's out of football. Todd Gurley. Probably the best example you can have.
This all started with Todd Gurley, let's be honest.
Came into the NFL off an ACL tear.
Mm-hmm.
Gets drafted, what, 8th?
Mm-hmm.
10th? Something like that? Todd Gurley? I want to make sure I get that right.
I think it was 10.
I think it's 10 sounds right, but for some reason I'm thinking
he was
8
drafted
too.
number 10, yeah.
Yeah, he's 10. He's 10. So he goes 10th. He's now the owner of something.
Good for
He
him.
owns something called Beasts.
I feel like Marshawn Lynch should be the owner of that.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Oh, he joined the ownership group of the FC, so fan-controlled football. He owns one of the fan-controlled football teams as of like last year. So here's what's interesting about Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley in 2016 was ranked number 22 in the top 100 NFL players. We're going to talk about that list that's coming out. We're going to talk about that list next week. He was ranked number 6 in 2018, number 5 in 2019, number 51 in 2020. Never to be heard from again. Played in 2020. He signed a 1-year, $5.5 million contract with the Falcons. Now I'm going to pull up his contract with LA was 4 years, $60 million, with $45 guaranteed. $45 million guaranteed to a running back. Interesting. With a knee history, with a knee injury in his history. And then what did he do? In 2018, played great. 1,251 yards rushing. That's beautiful. 4.9. 4.9 average. Somehow wasn't good enough to be a Pro Bowler that year. Somehow. But he wasn't. And then, maybe he was. He was. And then 2019, his last year in LA.
They reported he had arthritis.
They reported an arthritic knee.
Yeah.
And his yardage total plummeted.
He never had a 100-yard game.
Never had a 100-yard game. He rushed for 3.5 yards per tote, which was not good enough, obviously. And then the following season, his last year in the NFL in Atlanta, he ran for 30 less touches and averaged 3.5. That's bad because he started to struggle with injuries. How old do you think Todd Gurley is now?
28.
29.
Yeah.
He's 29 now. In 2020, that means he was probably 26. Running backs don't last. The evidence is everywhere. Not every running back is Adrian freaking Peterson. In fact, no running back was ever Adrian freaking Peterson. Adrian Peterson was like, oh shit, I tore my knee. So I'm playing next week, right?
All right,
AP was nuts.
Let's do a modern example.
Sure.
Let's do the.
AP's not modern enough for you?
No. I'm talking about Josh Jacobs because he's the one that's still holding out.
Sure.
Josh Jacobs hasn't returned to his team. He reportedly, at least according to him, was in a car with Max Crosby ready to sign the deal if it was done, and it didn't happen. And why did it not happen? Guarantees. Because the per year was done. The per year was solved. I think it was probably 12. Might have been 13 million per year, which is a lot for a running back.
It's still grossly higher than I would ever consider.
Let's look at Josh Jacobs' stats. So he has played 4 years so far. And remember, the Raiders didn't pick up his option. Just if you want to talk about Josh McDaniels being an idiot, I'm here for you all the time.
He didn't get to choose it. He didn't get to choose that.
He's the one that chose it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. See that timeline last. He's not, for what it's worth, after year 3, you wouldn't have either. Don't lie and say you would, because you wouldn't have.
So, his rookie year, he goes over for 1,000 yards. He's carrying 4.8. 2020, over 1,000 yards, 3.9.
That's low.
2021 is the year he missed a couple of games, 872 at 4. And this
4 flat?
Yeah. And this past year, 1,653 yards at 4.9 with 12 touchdowns. To be honest, he was the real drive of this offense. He was.
What was your record?
Yeah. What was the record? Do we need to know? We picked 7th.
Right. They picked 7th.
He's 25.
They picked 7th.
He's 25 right now.
2022 NFL rushing leaders.
He was the rushing leader.
No, I know he was.
Okay.
I know he was. Cleveland make the playoffs?
Nope.
Tennessee make the playoffs?
No, right? Yeah, no.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Giants did make the playoffs. Eagles made the playoffs. Vikings make the playoffs?
No. Right?
Bears make the playoffs?
Hell no.
Hell, Fields is not a running back. McCaffrey made the playoffs. Jacksonville made the playoffs.
I mean, he had to be traded.
Green Bay didn't. Detroit didn't. Seattle did by accident. New England didn't. Atlanta certainly didn't. Pittsburgh didn't. Dallas did, again by accident. Houston, don't make me laugh. Chargers did, but Eckler had less than 1,000. My point is maintaining here. Most of these higher-end running backs are getting touches on bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
On bad teams. They're inflating their numbers because they're playing against competition that doesn't take them seriously.
And don't get me wrong. If he came back and he signed $13 million, his quarterback's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh no, he's screwed next year anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna pad those stats like hell.
No, he's not. That because defenses are gonna sell out for the run now. Josh Jacobs' best career season. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. He's not eclipsing 1,600 ever again. He's not gonna come close. I don't think he's gonna come close to this, and that's why the Raiders are not paying him. Because they know what the future holds at the running back position, and they know what this coming season is going to be like. Josh Jacobs, there's a rule, there's a general theory in contractual negotiation. You don't want to pay for what someone's already done. You want to pay for what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs has already done the best of what he's going to do. That's why they haven't paid him. Saquon Barkley would be the only running back I question whether or not I've seen the best or the worst of
and
him.
Even him, he didn't get paid.
He didn't get paid. I wouldn't pay him either, by the way. If the answer is $15 million a year, go. Get out. No, we're not doing that. My ceiling is like 8. I'd rather pay 4 dudes that do the job well than 1 dude that might do the job a little bit better than those 4, but I'm not going to run him into the ground. The last running back we've seen run into the... First of all, Derrick Henry's legs are going to pop off soon.
Oh, yeah.
But he's going to be done in like 3 years because they have overworked him beyond. However, the Cowboys have done it with 2 straight running backs. DeMarco Murray, Ezekiel Elliott. They ran them both into the ground. The Cowboys only got to suffer through one of them because they let Murray walk. He went to Philly, stunk. He went to Tennessee for 1 year. He was okay, and then he retired because his legs went on. Zeke doesn't have any legs anymore. It's August 7th, and Ezekiel Elliott doesn't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have a job. Dalvin Cook doesn't have a job yet.
I feel like
probably going to be a Jet.
Yeah, I feel like Dalvin Cook is mostly just waiting for the training camp to end.
Oh, I'm sure they both are. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, Zeke, to my knowledge, has only taken 2 visits. He visited Cincy, I think, a while ago.
Speaking of another running back that needs to be replaced.
So Joe Mixon took a pay cut.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon's agent made the right call. Because the answer was either pay cut or get out. And if he got out, he was going to get nothing. I don't know what his pay cut went down to.
I think he's Joe Mixon, $2 million, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna check. Joe Mixon spot rack. This is what I love about this. I don't feel that good about it for the players. I'd rather the players get all the money. I don't, but Joe Mixon's contract
is currently 2 years, $11.5 million.
Oh my goodness, that is a dip.
Yeah, from 4 years, $48 million.
He went from 4 for 48 all the way down to 2 for 11.5.
Yeah.
So essentially, Joe Mixon went from $12 million a year to $6 million a year.
By the way,
a little bit less than 6 a year.
He's on a 1 year deal because there's an out in 2024.
There's an out.
Yeah.
There's an out. First of all, is Joe Mixon half as good as Saquon?
No.
I think he's a little better. No. I think he's a little better than half. Listen.
I don't.
Because if you think he's not valuable to Cincinnati,
I don't think Joe Mixon's a good running back.
No, it's not about him being a good running back. It's about him being a competent running back.
Yeah.
He's objective. He's not incompetent. That's stupid.
I don't think he's incompetent.
That's insane. Listen, I know he's not an elite running back by any stretch. The Bengals' O-line for 2 years before last year was a disaster. And as we have established repeatedly, congratulations, the Raiders obviously have some semblance of an O-line because Josh Jacobs ran for 1,600.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Colton Miller's probably better than I thought he was.
Yep.
Good. Don't pay Josh. Pay Colton. And put a 5th rounder back there.
They drafted a running back.
Who'd you draft?
Zamir White last year. Remember?
There you go. Forgot about Zamir. Yeah, you have Zamir White. He's going to start for you in a year. I mean, it's just... When Caleb Williams is your quarterback, you're going to need somebody back there. So.
Okay. Are we done with running backs? Because I want to put my conspiracy theory out there.
If you have a conspiracy theory, now is the time to share it.
All right. It's the off season, so let's talk about conspiracy theories.
This chair has a lean back, so I'm going to lean back in the chair.
In my opinion, there is no way the Rams don't end up with number 1 pick. I think it's already done.
That's not a bad conspiracy.
The money is too good if the Rams get the number 1 pick.
It's a lot of money.
Let's just be honest here. Who's the best? Who's the most hyped up quarterback in all of California right now? It's USC's Caleb Williams. What's the most popular football team in California? It ain't the NFL teams.
Yeah. The pride of the Pac-12, the dying conference.
Let's all. And who actually does need a quarterback? The Lions. Not the Lions. Sorry, Lions don't need a quarterback. I was thinking of Matthew Stafford.
How dare you? The Lions don't need a quarterback.
They drafted a quarterback who we both like.
He's 26 and he's got knee trouble.
He's a running back, John.
He's not a running back. Yeah. No, Hendon can throw.
Matthew Stafford is not long for the Rams, in my opinion.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. In fact, I think there's a good chance he's my next quarterback.
Well, that would be sad.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm getting Caleb. Don't think I'm getting Drake. Where am I left with?
Let's put it this way. We're entering an NFL. We're a month away from kickoff.
Yeah.
The new NFL season is upon us, and this new season is going to bring with it a great deal of drama.
You're gonna see two polar opposites this season.
Well, I'm going for a Super Bowl, and you're going for the basement.
I have never been less excited for a football season.
Can I be honest with you though?
Yeah.
And this is me. You have to try to be. I'm sure part of you is just like, I don't want to see John happy, but at the same time,
What are you talking about?
I feel like you will enjoy. I feel like I know you. Like, you're a Raiders fan, yes, but you are a football fan.
Yeah. I want the NFC to win the Super Bowl.
No, of course. Well, let's just be objective about it. The Eagles are going to be fun as hell to watch this year.
Listen,
They're going to be so.
There's going to be
watch.
3 teams that I'll be watching every game of this year.
Philly,
One of them is the Raiders,
Philly.
because I was born in this disgusting heathen.
Yes.
The second is the Niners, because I have friends. And the third one is the Eagles, because I have John.
because he is friend. Yeah, what's funny is one of these things is not like the other.
Like let's talk about it. What's your hope for this season? What is your hope for this season?
For the Eagles?
Yeah.
Oh, to win the whole thing. Everything else is a failure.
I want to lose everything. I want to lose every single game.
Yeah. After getting 3 points away from doing it, and the only reason being a coach that was tampering,
Yeah.
I cannot accept anything less this coming season. We lost Javon Hargrave and got better. Like, I'm sorry. And Niner fans, I'm sorry. It just happened. And Niners fans, I'm sorry. Eagles signed Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham, by the way.
That's not that great, by the way.
No, but it is. Because we had very young linebackers. Every linebacker we have on our roster before Jack and Cunningham was younger than me. All of them. I think all of them were my brother's age. My brother's 23. N'Kobe, I think, was my oldest one or something. Like, it was crazy. Oh no, Nicholas Morrow might have been a little older. I think Nicholas Morrow's a little older.
I still love Nicholas Morrow.
Well, now he plays for me, so haha. But who knows? Maybe he won't. But now with Jack and Cunningham coming in, the reality is the Eagles were inches away from winning the whole damn thing. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Hurts played so well in last year's Super Bowl that he probably should have still won MVP, even in a losing effort. That said, the story of this Eagles team, in my eyes, is the improvement on defense. We've lost a great deal at safety, but if you're going to lose in any position on defense, it should be safety. Because, like running back, it kind of doesn't matter. It's just like it's important. Sure, every position matters, but like it doesn't matter that much. There's only like 5 good tight ends, and one of them's in Philly, so it's not a big deal.
And one of them is now on the Giants.
No, he was not one of the 5. He's not one of the 5. I'm putting Hawkinson in that 5. I don't know why I am, but
that's a weird decision to make.
I know.
Okay,
I don't trust Waller anymore. That's
you should.
I have trust issues with him now.
All right. This is your hope. What's your prediction for your team at the end of the season?
Oh Jesus, it's so early for that.
Give me your prediction, because I have my team pegged. I already know what's going to happen.
So my theory is the Eagles are going to break the NFC East divisional streak. I think we are going to be a repeat winner. Mm-hmm. Only other team I could see doing it is weirdly like the Giants, just because of how well coached they are. But they're so poorly quarterbacked that
on a new contract. Who got paid before Saquon?
$40 million a year. Anyway. Yeah, I do think we're winning the division. I think 1 or 2 seed. I'll say 1. I do think we're the best team in the NFC. And it's hard for me to say it's anything other than us in Kansas City again, and then the game is a coin flip. Like, it's hard to say anything other than that. There is no world in my eyes where the Eagles and Chiefs are not the 2 best teams in the NFL on paper. Mm-hmm. And it's the best quarterback against, in my opinion, the best team in Philly. I think Philly is the best team, and Kansas City obviously is the best quarterback. So, and then it comes down to coaching. Hopefully Sirianni gets a little bit better, and hopefully Sean Desai has some semblance of how to coach a defense. we saw what he did in Seattle last year. He does. He's a decent defensive coach. So prediction, I can't. I'm not equipped for it yet. Like I can't.
I know what's going to happen with my team, and it's my nightmare.
7th overall pick again.
They're going to win 6 or 7 games.
You're not winning 7 games.
They're gonna. There's 18 games now, John.
There's 17 games.
Oh, there is. Thank God. They're gonna win 6 or 7 games. This is how far removed I have become from football.
You thought they added another one?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, they will eventually.
Yeah, it's coming, but it hasn't happened yet.
They're gonna win 5 or 6 games. They're not gonna get the first pick. They're not gonna be they're not gonna get the second pick. And this whole year is gonna be a fucking waste. And I'm gonna be here again next year.
It won't be a waste because you're gonna trade for. You know what's funny?
What?
In my world, my heart of hearts right now, my hive mind.
Your mind palace.
My mind palace. In my mind palace. I haven't been in here in a while. In my mind palace, the Rams are going to be pick number 2.
Oh, rip them. Arizona is another option
and
for
the Cardinals are going to be pick number 1.
Cardinals are weird.
They're not going to move on from him.
They really should. Kyler Murray has been hurt every season, basically, right? And the team has collapsed every season.
I am checking his contractual situation.
It's not pretty.
No, but if he has an out, then that's a different issue. Haha, he doesn't. So if they cut him at the end of the season, there's a dead cap of $50 million.
Holy shit. Okay, so Arizona.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's a dead cap of $81 million.
Okay, so I'm rooting for Arizona to be number 1 pick.
Here's my point.
Okay.
No. There is very little. If the Rams end up as pick number 2,
yeah,
there is very little way that you end up with Caleb Williams. It's actually impossible.
Why? Why would the Rams trade with? Why would Arizona trade with the Rams?
Oh, to get a shitload of capital. They'll destroy the team's capital. Destroy it.
Yeah, but they're going to give them Caleb Williams.
Yes.
I don't think they do that.
Listen, they will absolutely demolish the Rams' capital.
I'm sorry. Kyler Murray's potential out is in 2028.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's not the smartest move.
Okay.
This is shaping up to be like an RG3 level kind of deal because you had a team that wasn't shopping for a QB and a Rams team that wasn't shopping for a QB because they had the ever elite Sam Bradford and
another knee issue there, huh? Knees are everywhere.
I can't believe he quarterbacked my team. I can't believe he did it.
I can't wait till Carson Wentz quarterbacks my team. I always knew it was going to happen.
Did you see that picture from the other day? Did you see that picture?
No.
Did you hear about this?
No.
All right, we could probably end it on this. Carson Wentz took a picture and put it on his Instagram the other day of him working out in preparation for the season, a season in which he is currently unemployed for, wearing an Eagles helmet, a Commanders jersey, and Colts shorts. I'm not kidding. I wish I was. He looked insane.
So he's learned nothing.
He looked like a crazy person. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. What do you do? And he's apparently working out with John Gruden. Like, what are you learning? Like, there's nothing to learn. Like, you can't gain anything from nothing you're doing makes any sense.
Here's a guy.
That's Collinsworth.
It's the same person.
No, it's not.
Same amount of football knowledge.
One of them has a job. One of them's employed to do something.
Okay, so finish your draft thought.
Oh, if the Cardinals go to 1, sure, you can make the argument that they won't trade with the Rams, but I'm going to go with they do and absolutely eviscerate their trade capital. And the Rams take Caleb at 1. And then the Cardinals move again from 2 to I don't know, what pick are you at?
Probably 7.
9?
Yeah.
All right, 2 to 7, and you'll get Drake. As it stands right now. It's August. It's a while.
Oh, no, we predicted the future.
Knowing your luck, it's going to be Spencer Rattler.
No, knowing my luck, it's going to be the other one, Bo Nix. Ugh.
No, Rattler is the weird. I can't wait to watch Rattler's tape next year.
I'm so happy he's getting another year.
Me too. Yeah. I'm so stoked because we've ignored him for 2 years.
No, we didn't ignore him. We watched it and we were like, oh no.
Oh no. And then he got hurt, and then he got good. Then he got benched, then he got good again. So, I don't know what he is. I know he's interesting. Never a dull moment with Spencer Rattler. Anyway, aliens. What else
officially?
Yeah. What else you got?
What else you got? The world is crazy. It's on fire. How about yours?
Yeah, how are y'all doing?
Like, are you guys okay? I'm not okay.
I'm gonna look directly into the camera.
Podcast listeners, hi. How are you?
Yeah.
Give him some ASMR.
True. I forgot about that. I forgot we also have just an audio. Hey guys, how you doing? Doing all right?
You feeling like a running back or a wide receiver?
World feel like the world's hitting you like a Jordan Addison car. Yeah.
By the way, we should, speaking of speeding for no apparent reason and suffering the consequences.
No. Jordan Addison said it was a dog emergency. Did you not hear about that?
Henry Ruggs should get sentenced soon. We'll see how that goes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That already happened.
No.
Oh. How about that? What else is happening? Anything fun?
I don't know.
There's a Pokemon Direct tomorrow.
There's some potential indictments in the government related to the presidency that
former presidency.
Yeah.
Prick.
There's that. There's a war in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's still going on. Yeah. It's been a rough summer.
There's also a Women's World Cup. I'm not comparing
not anymore.
them, but like...
I was going to say, for Americans, the Women's World Cup is over. We lost by a millimeter.
By the way, can I just talk about that really quick? People are like throwing like shit at the players, like, oh, equally paid and now you're garbage. They've won how many World Cups, Sean?
Yeah, they've won like 3.
Yeah, can we chill? Right? You know how hard it is to win a World Cup? You know how hard it is to win a World Cup?
We just made it look real hard.
Yeah.
Oh, can I get on my soapbox? I know you fucking chastised me for this already, but I'm sorry. It is not impressive to me that Lionel Messi is doing really well in the MLS. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, this is so stupid. Yeah, I get it. He's really good, and the MLS isn't. Who's shocked? Anyone? Bueller? FanDuel? Stop tweeting it. No one gives a shit. I know. He's really good, really popular. Everybody loves him. I get it. But everybody's just like, just acting like they just discovered Lionel Messi. The guy is 35. He's been doing this a very long time. Did you really not know who he was? Or are you just being stupid?
It's another guy who knows how hard it is to win a World Cup.
Here's a guy. He won, though.
Here's a Texans minority owner facing rape and multiple sexual assault charges in Kentucky.
What?
Bye-bye.
What? No. What? Is that new?
Yeah.
As of what, a second ago?
So I thought we were going to finish the episode, but...
Can't with that.
Texans minority owner Javier Loya is facing a rape charge, 5 first-degree sexual abuse.
Oh, I did see that.
And 1 third-degree sexual abuse charge in Kentucky. In other news, this is only about a 6-game suspension in the NFL.
Speaking of bad owners, this was actually a story we did not talk about. Washington finally sold.
Oh, let's end
the Washington Commanders.
Let's end on a happy note.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Okay.
Do you know anything about Josh Harris?
Not enough. I know he's better than Daniel Snyder. That's all that really matters.
It ain't by much.
Is it Harris or was it Norris?
No, it's Harris.
Harris? Okay.
I promise you it's Harris because he owns 2 teams that I follow.
Oh, okay.
He owns the Devils and Sixers.
Oh, rip you.
Right.
He's not a good owner.
No, he's not. He stays away from the Devils mostly, which is why the Devils are good. He does not stay away from the Sixers, which is why the Sixers are not good. And he just spent $6 billion on Washington, which might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen a man do. However, apparently there's going to be a full rebrand again. And Dan Snyder sells a team and is immediately fined $60 million.
Which is nothing for him, by the way.
He made $6 billion off the sale. That's not even enough to drop it below $5.9 billion. What kind of... Don't punish him then. Like, what's the point? It's just extra paperwork. If you're going to punish him like that, either really punish him because he was a scumbag, or don't at all and don't waste the paper.
He actually stole money from the owners, and it was only $60 million of a fine.
Right. Stole money from the owners, engaged in objectively disgusting sexual harassment, engaged in
as is typical
rhetoric,
for Texas owners.
Propped up Sean Taylor's death like a promotional exercise.
Oh my God!
Nothing multiple times. Nothing this guy did.
And
was
each
good.
time it got worse too.
Each time it got worse. It was like each time it was like, okay, it can't get worse. And, oh my God, it did. Wow.
This time.
And at that point, you're like, I don't know whether to be appalled or impressed.
Like this time, the statue's a wireframe. That was
so disgusting to me. I'm sorry. I saw that and I was viscerally upset. I could not contain my anger. I couldn't believe somebody was that foolish. How? How can you be that foolish? I guess you can be that foolish if you're also a sexual harasser, but like you're just a bad guy. Thank God he's out of the NFL. Thank God. I'm so glad he's gone. So glad he's gone. It's one less garbage. The NFL's ownership gets better by default by him no longer being part of it. Josh Harris ain't much better. But to our knowledge, he has yet to sexually harass somebody.
True.
For now. Let's hope it stays that.
Any other breaking news is going to happen like in the last second of this episode?
Yeah. It's only 10 p.m. Pacific time. Anything? Oh yeah, Twitter's not Twitter anymore, but I refuse to call it anything but Twitter.
What a long summer.
It's been a bad summer.
Yeah.
I haven't enjoyed the summer. This hasn't been fun.
I don't think I've Austin Eckler, by the way, has still requested a trade. I know we skipped over that, but
yeah, we skipped over it because of running backs.
Whale. The Whale is the highlight of our summer.
and not the Brendan Fraser movie. Jim Irsay saving a whale. That's the highlight of the week, at least. I'll leave us with one question. I have a fantasy football dilemma.
Okay.
Did I tell you this one?
No.
So I have a fantasy league, my big league, where we're implementing a keeper, which means I get to keep one player from last season. Not a full team, which, by the way, if we had gotten to pick a full team, you assisted me last year in the draft, and our strat would have been perfect. Mm-hmm. I drafted like 7 rookies. Anyway, I did pretty well. I didn't win, but I did pretty well. The way the keeper is working is I am allowed to keep any one player from last year for the price of the draft pick I used on that player last season.
Oh, we're swimming.
So, for example, I can keep one, not all of them, one. So, for the example, Jamar Chase was my number 1 overall pick last year.
Yeah.
If I wanted to keeper Jamar Chase, I would have to lose my 1. For example. So I've narrowed it down to like 2 ideas. 2 ideas. Not many of them. There are a few I just completely ruled out. But the couple I've narrowed it down to are, I'm going to see if I can find this quickly because I took a picture of it. So my first round pick was Jamar Chase. My second round pick was Nick Chubb. Probably not going to do that. My third round pick was Deebo Samuel. Definitely not doing that. My fourth round pick was Kyle Pitts. Okay. My fifth round pick was Patrick Mahomes.
Should probably keep that.
Probably keeping that. My sixth round pick was Travis Etienne. No. My seventh round pick was Dameon Pierce. No. My eighth round pick was Nuke. No. My ninth round pick is Devontae Smith. I'm not going to get him again, but no. My 10th round pick is giving me pause. There are only a handful of, and you're going to hear me say, this is going to be a wild departure from the tone of this episode. Running backs have value in fantasy football.
I got into this argument literally at a party where like the guy was like, "You're gonna take Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase with your first two picks." I'm like, "It sounds like I don't have a running back then." Yeah, running backs don't matter except for fantasy football.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty universally known at this point, and it's why I'm like not even hiding my potential strat from you. If I have pick number 1 this year, I am taking JJ. This is not a question. He's right now in ADP 1.1, which is effectively perfect. Mm-hmm. It's what he is right now. It's sick what he's putting up as far as ADP. However, my 10th overall pick, that's my 10th round pick, was Tony Pollard.
No.
No?
Patrick Mahomes all the way.
It's a top 15 back for the price of a 10.
Mahomes.
I agree.
It's not even close for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Just look at what Dallas is right now.
Oh, no. Well, I'm going to be honest. I do not view Dallas as a threat this year. I view Dallas as having a good... For what?
For a top 5 pick.
No. I have Dallas as a threat on defense. I do not have this as a threat on offense.
Speaking of overpaid players, can we talk about...
Oh, my God. I forgot about that one. Yeah. No, we got to do this one right now. And
it's been a long offseason. I'm very sorry.
It has, guys. It's going to take us a couple of times to...
This is a crazy episode.
We got to kind of relearn how to do this a little. I know. If this sounded clunky today, I apologize. But, we're just getting back into the swing of it. We took a long time off. Trayvon Diggs.
Holy crap.
5 years, 97?
Oh, my God.
With a total guarantee of 42. First of all, I'm going to give the Cowboys a little credit. That guarantee is not bad.
Yeah.
Guarantee is not bad. And I'll give another piece of credit. They have it out in 25.
Which is great.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. 97?
Oh, my God.
That's where the good ends. What? What? Why? For what? For jumping routes sometimes?
For getting burned all the time?
What is... Why? Why?
I feel like people just see interception and don't look at like everything else.
You're not kidding. He is... I mean, listen. You know who the number one salary is right now in the NFL among corners?
Who?
It's Marlon Humphrey. It's an identical contract.
Okay.
Identical contract. Do you know who number 2 is? I did not know this.
Is it?
I do remember...
Miami guy, right?
No. The cap hit this year for a certain corner is Adoree Jackson.
No way.
His cap hit this year is $19 million. Now, I remember the Giants giving him a 3-year for $39, which was dumb as shit when they did it. But the cap hit escalates this year. Okay, you know what? I take it back. Cut him and pay Saquon. Because that's insane. I forgot this existed. That is completely irresponsible. It is You save $8.5 million this year by cutting him. You don't. There's 10 and dead, but you save 8. I'd cut him.
Denzel Ward, Marshawn Lattimore, Xavier Howard, Jair Alexander, all making killer money.
Yeah, I mean, what's Trayvon's salary going to be this year? His top salary this year,
just under 19.5.
Is that his AV or is that his salary?
AV.
Okay, so
here I got it. Trayvon Diggs this year is going to make 22.3.
Now his cap hit this year, his yearly catch is 22.3, but his cap hit is what is counting as the quote unquote salary.
5.8.
So his cap hit this year is 5.8.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually getting paid under Marlon Humphrey by $500,000. He's more than $500,000 worse than Marlon Humphrey. He is, but fine. This is a bad contract anyway.
He also got 33.3 guaranteed at signing.
Right.
So he's not making 5 point.
Of course. Yeah. Listen, here's the reality. Here's the way I view it. I don't think Trayvon Diggs is that good a corner. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't view it that way. I didn't like him coming out. I don't love him now. He's better now than he was when he came out, of course. But the man is a one-trick pony. He either gets the pick or blows the coverage. He's a Asante Samuel, except Asante Samuel was savvier.
I think he's living off his 2021 11 interceptions. He had 3 last year.
Right.
And he had 3 the year before 2021.
So the question, you're a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Think back to Nnamdi Asomugha when he was good.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Then he came to Philly. And they stunk. It wasn't his fault, but he stunk. Nnamdi had an 8-pick year, if I remember correctly.
I will pull that out.
And then they stopped throwing at him. I think the last season he played in Oakland, he only was thrown at like 14 times.
Oh yeah, they didn't throw at him at all.
They didn't throw at him. He was thrown at 14 times. So, and I think almost half of them were when he faced Randy Moss, and Moss played okay. And that was it. Everybody else just avoided him. That's just, it's the way it is. I don't know what the metrics are on Trayvon. I don't know if he was thrown at more this year or less this year or anything like that. What I do know is pick numbers are down. And obviously if the ball's going that direction less, he's going to catch the ball less, all that shit. So I'm not overwhelmed by everybody's affinity for Trayvon Diggs. I do not think he's a top 3 corner. I don't even know if I think he's a top 5 corner. But top 10, maybe. But I don't see him being that much better than like Darius Slay. I don't think he's that much better than Lattimore or Humphrey. I don't think he's that much better than Tre'Davious.
Lattimore and Humphrey are both making more money than him.
No, I understand that. But the cloud around Trayvon Diggs is one of this is the best cornerback in the NFL type shit. He's not Jalen Ramsey. He's not, he's better than James Bradbury. I'll give him that. You know who he's much better than? Like really, actually much better? Adoree fucking Jackson. Yeah, he's better than that. I don't know what that's about. He's definitely better than Adoree Jackson. No doubt about that. But let me go. I'll look at it real quick, and then we'll say bye, because now at this point we're actually going over where we're planning on going tonight. If I go position by position, top salaries by position, oh my God, Spot Rack, behave. We love Spot Rack here. It's a big deal for us, but it's not behaving sometimes.
While you're doing that, I'm also going to call out the fact that Sean Payton decided to shit on Nathaniel Hackett for no reason.
It was so much shit. Yeah. But honestly, true.
Crazy summer, guys. Like, if you get Aaron Rodgers to feel bad. Crazy summer, guys. Crazy summer.
Aaron Rodgers felt defensive over Nathaniel Hackett because reasons. Other corner. Okay, so here it is. Marlon Humphrey, he's not as good as Marlon Humphrey. Adoree Jackson, he's better. J.C. Jackson, oh my God. Tre'Davious White's better.
But
and it falls off a cliff. Darius Williams, he's better than Darius Williams. Denzel Ward, I don't think he's better than Denzel Ward, personally. Ward didn't have that good a year last year, but he's a great corner. Slay, I think he may be on par with Slay. I think Slay might be a little better. Lattimore's better. Kendall Fuller, why is he being paid $12 million a year?
Keep going. It gets better.
What is Jair Alexander? Jair Alexander is the best corner in the NFL. Micah Hyde is somehow listed as a corner here.
Yeah.
I don't know why is Micah Hyde on this list? Do you see that?
Yeah.
It says 2023 cornerback cap rank, and next to Micah Hyde's position, it says free safety. What are you doing here? Xavier Howard, he's probably better than Xavier now. Stephon Gilmore, he's better than Gilmore now. Michael Davis, I don't even know who that is. Taron Johnson, no. Kenny Moore, no. He's better than these guys. Now we're at that. Sauce Gardner, he's not better than Sauce Gardner. He's not. He's just not.
Who did the Texans draft instead of Sauce Gardner?
Derek Stingley.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that out there.
He's better than Derek Stingley.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, no, it's worth mentioning. There you go.
That's a show.
Congrats on making a boatload of money. I'll give it like a B- for the structure of the contract, but a D on the value. Structure of the contract's good. I'll give Dallas props for that. The structure's good. Gives you a way out. So, all right.
We'll be better next
That
time.
was fun. We'll be better. We'll be back next week. Hopefully this new format works. We're going to find out. And until then...
What's coming next week? Initial reactions to preseason. There won't be much. Okay, John's holding a card out.
He's holding a card.
We're going to talk about the top 100.
First week of preseason will be done. We're going to talk about the top 100 list next week, which the results dropped tonight. We peaked, but we'll talk about it next week. And
if we have time, maybe we'll talk about actual award predictions. Maybe. It might be a little
and we may reload, not next week, but we might reload some shot takes soon.
Some shot takes, some predictions, some season-long predictions, some record predictions. That's all stuff we got to do before the first week of the NFL. So we're ramping up really fast here. It's good to be back.
We're going to get going. We're hitting the ground running. Hopefully Discord is a nice new home for us, and we hope it's seamless. If you guys are seeing a green border, by the way, around whenever one of us is speaking, we haven't figured out how to get rid of that yet. We're going to try. We haven't figured it out yet, though.
Bye-bye.
Soon. Bye-bye.